Okay, so we're coming out of the bee's knees to the front yard, also dedicated to pollinators. And you'll see the first thing that greets us is a humongous butterfly and bee bush. Every time I cut it back, and every time it grows 2 or 3 times, and here are the bees zipping around making their cameo appearance. So let's see if I can get one. They really move very quickly. So there is one right over there. I don't know if you can see them. Probably not. But anyway, they're there. There's a lot of bees around the bee bush and doing quite well. Kind of overtook the rose bush. I didn't realize it would grow this big. But in any event, and here's just a side area of some pyrocanthum things that just will grow in and will look nice when they're trimmed. Here's a whole area where we have really lovely rosemary bushes. I got them in a twofer type of sale, so I got 6 or 8 of them, I don't remember the number. And they blossomed in January, and now they're starting to blossom again. You can see the blossoms are starting. So this will go through 2 or 3 blossoms throughout the year. This particular rosemary on this side is a light blue, and down there it's a purple. So when this was in total bloom, which it will be again in another few weeks, you didn't see any green. All you saw was light blue and purple. It was incredible. And the bees are having a good time around here anyway, even though there aren't a ton of blossoms. This is a wild aster, and I let it grow here because it supplies really good nourishment for some tiny bees that exist naturally in our environment. They are very, very small and hard to see even with a camera. There's one way over there. You may see some movement over there of a teeny tiny bee. But in any event, I keep the wild asters growing. Some people don't like to because they consider it a weed, but it supports a lot of wildlife, little wildlife. Here is another rose bush that is starting to bloom again because it was really a hard season. Here's some more wild asters. This is called string grass, and it grows in the prairies, and it provides seeds. It's tiny, tiny little seeds for different birds and things. So I let it grow here until the complaints come. Oh, and here's a lizard. I don't know if you saw him. Oh, there he is. I don't know if you saw him. He was going into the lavender bush. The lavender bush has already blossomed. You see the blossoms have kind of gone away already, but I don't even water this plant at all. Neither do I water this one. This is another lavender. It does very well just naturally from the drip from the morning dew. And here is a prickly pear that I'm going to be planting probably in this area right in here. They love the heat, they love the dryness, so I'm just waiting for it to get a little bit cooler so it can take root. Then over here you can see there we have the string glass and the little asters again. I wonder if we can get that. No, we can't. Okay. And this has been a volunteer tree. I might cut it down and put the lilac trees here It's a pretty invasive tree that it came from across the street where they had tons of these. You see, it didn't do well in the summer, but then it started reviving itself. So I had to make a decision about that. We have some other volunteers that came through, which is this yucca. It's called a grass yucca. You can see the blossoms on top of it. And I just let it stay there and do what it wants to do. I may take some of the seeds there and try to propagate them in other areas in this front area and move some of the rocks away. And so we'll go back into the bee's knees. This is a last look at the glorious bee bush and the asters. And that's how, even though in the 100-degree heat, how the plants can survive. Next year, I'm going to be addressing the heat issues by creating some areas, particularly in the back gardens, that aren't in full sun, so that the plants don't go through the trauma that they've been through this year with the 100-degree heat for 3 weeks. I will be creating some shaded areas, semi-shaded areas with shade cloth. So anyway, have a good week, take good care, and this is Miranda saying toodles from the bee's knees and Hummer's Hangout.